Wasn't
Y'all were
hearing
hearing
you.
me?
No, we weren't. You had to go back up a little. We weren't hearing you.
Hello?
Hi.
Y'all were hearing me?
No, no, we
Oh,
weren't.
oh, shucks. Okay. Let me let me start.
Go
Okay.
back up a little. Yeah.
Yeah. Shucks. Okay. So basically, floral essence. So like with the rising sun, you're gonna get different energies from the setting sun, and usually midday energy as well is going to be different. So when you put this flower essence, you're gonna put it out for the specific property that you want, right? So solar water, people have it for like normal drinking and stuff. You don't need it to use for any infusions, but you just put it outside. You don't want to put any plastic bottles, and you don't want to use any um glass bottles with plastic covers, because again, plastic leaches and you don't really want to do plastic, right? So once, what happens is that if it is you want to like wake up energizing and water, you usually do it in the morning when the sun is energetic, it's doing its thing, high in energy. And then if it is you want it to be more calmer and you want it more relaxed and more chilled, you could do it in the evening when the sun is well setting and so forth. So here I was going through the differences between your flower essence and your herbal water. So again, the purpose is different. How you prepare it, the parts of your plants that you use, the mechanism of action. So the herbal water, we know you could drink cups of it, that's not a problem. But with the floral essence, you don't really drink a lot. And floral essences are preserved by alcohol. Alcohol is a preserving agent, and the higher proof alcohol that you use, the longer the shelf life. And we know water infusions don't last as long. You can't have it in the fridge, but eventually it's going to go bad, and you don't really want that happening. So here, there's a section on preserving it. So here you could use alcohol or vinegar, whichever you want. That is totally up to you, because I know alcohol is very expensive. Okay. So, so for the herbal syrups, I wanted to do the demonstration last because I wanted to use some of the stuff from the hydrosol setup to do the syrups. But I will just do the theoretical parts, and I'll just show all the demonstrations afterwards, right? So yeah, it's not a very long process. Basically, you're going to have your herbs that you want, water, and your sweetener of choice. So you can use honey, but cane sugar is good. If you have white sugar, you could always add some molasses, and it's going to make you brown sugar. You can have your maple syrup, but maple syrup is very expensive. So, and then here, alcohol would be your preservative agent for natural preservatives. So here you can choose. So I put in the herbs that you can have, like that you can get locally. Um to be able to make herbal syrups with. But right. So here we go. Um it's quite similar to how you would make a simple syrup if you're using sugar, but the you're gonna have to eyeball it according to how thick or how sweet you want it. So there's not really much set measurements for it. But so here you can put like a cup of herbs, and then you have like 3 cups of water, and then you add your sweetener and make sure the sweetener dissolve. But the sweetener you wanna add it last, right? So so this is why I said I wanted to show this demonstration with the floral water because not the hydrosol, but the part where we put the water in with the flowers, that is actually going to infuse with the rose and basically give us rose water infusion or rose tea that we could drink. We could put it on your face. You could use it as a hair rinse. But I wanted to use it to make a rose syrup. So I would have waited to see how much liquid that I got left over and then probably top it up to 1 cup and decide, do you want your ratio to be 1 to 1, where you use 1 cup of liquid to 1 cup of sugar? Usually that syrup is thicker, but if you want, you could use more water and you make it a bit thinner. And you can use these. So like normally when I make rose syrup, I'll add spices to it and I use it as a coffee flavoring. So it's really versatile in how you use it. Like you can use it for your pancake syrup or any of those things. You don't just you can, but basically you administer it, you know, with a spoon and you give your kid it to swallow. Okay. Okay, so this is my salve. I'm not sure if you can notice, but there's a ring starting to solidify already because I turned off the heat. I didn't add any essential oils to it because I said I didn't want to use essential oils in it. But now I'm just gonna put it off to the side and allow it to harden. Now, if it is that you are making it to put into other glass, you can use like a glass measuring cup and use it and pour it in accordingly. But because it was a small amount, I knew the jar that I wanted to keep it in. So I will allow it to set and stay in here and dip in and use it. And this is the hydrosol. So you see our ice is basically melted and there is a lot of condensation happening. So you could see where it actually is condensating a lot more now because the droplets are a lot bigger. So I'm just gonna put it back and leave it to continue distillating. Okay, so for your floral essence, you got your jar. I have some dried herbs here, and this is my Aphrodite mix. So usually this is what I would have around my period time before, during, or after, or if I feel PMS. So I feel like this is a good blend to have to put outside in the sun to get some energy. Or maybe we could put it outside and get some lunar energy, which is more feminine in nature. So you could choose how concentrated you want this herbal mix. So usually I go for like, so here, this is about a quarter cup. Yeah, this is a half. So it's about a quarter cup of herbs here. And then I'm just going to fill it up to this on top here. This is a 12 ounce water line. And that's it. So this is my metal cover. And you could shake it up, you could do whatever you want. But like always, make sure and label exactly what goes into your flower essence because you don't want to have something and you can't remember what's in it. Okay, so this is my black seed electroly I was telling you guys about. Um, this is my little bear. I think he was very cute. So, uh, okay, so this is a very thick. You can see it's not very runny. That's just some honey. I didn't mix it up. It's been settled for a while, so it actually started to separate because there's actually more honey in it. So, ooh, so this is just like the honey when it separates, and then this is the paste that you can decide what you want to do with it. So I don't like to take black seed oil and I don't like to have black seed tea. So this is easier for me to have and swallow, and then I'll probably drink some tea to get rid of the taste from my mouth. Okay, so eh, from the last class, we uploaded a video. One of our students was showing us how to make homemade apple cider vinegar. But what you want to do for your oxymel is, well, I don't have any infused vinegar. So basically, the same way that we filled our herbs, we're going to fill it with the vinegar, allow it to infuse, strain it. Ooh, sorry. And then when you get the remains, the liquid part, you want to put it in your mixing jug and then add the amount of honey that you wanted. So that's a post-infuse infusion process. So that's why I didn't really demonstrate it too much because it takes a little while to do that infusion. Now, cocoa butter could be used for your salves and balms as well, depending on if you want to. Shea butter is not the only one. There are different butters that you can use, like mango butter, etc. So people who already make herbal products, they know what they want the different um butters for. Okay. So these are some essential oils that I got. So the VS Pharmaceutical brand is the cheapest brand. I don't know about like purity or how great it is, but like I said, you don't want to try to get like the more expensive thing and you can't afford it. So for me, for everyday use, this is affordable. And so the balm that the salve that I was demonstrating, if it is that I wanted it to be something because I use calendula, lavender, and cinnamon, I can do something that's both soothing, relaxing, and could help with pain. And clove oil is really good for pain. Most people know it. When you have toothaches and stuff, you can put clove oil on a cotton and put it in your mouth, or people just put a bite down on a clove and that's fine. Neem has a whole lot of benefits, and we'll cover this in session four, I think, yeah. Um, Especially when it comes to healing and stuff, and you can see like all the uses in the back of the bottle. It's very, very tiny to show you guys. So I would add some of this because, like I said, salves are more for healing purposes and you want it to be fast penetrating. So it might be easier to use some of the essential oils than a thicker oil. And then peppermint oil. So peppermint oil is very refreshing. It's very minty. We know that. And it's very soothing as well. It helps with circulation. So this is something that we definitely want to add if it is that is the purpose that we're going for. Anybody have any questions?
Hi, yes, this is Alicia. My question is, When you put on the rice cooker for the hydrosol, what level you put it on? Is it low, medium, or
So
high?
my rice cooker is the Proctor Select one. I'll probably can send you guys pictures. It just has two settings, warm and cook. So right now it's on warm, but you have to, so I'm putting it on cook so that it can make the thing a little faster. I thought it would have it would have moved faster with the warm setting, but it's not. So I now put it onto the cook. So there's only two settings. Um, but you can use a normal pot because most pot sets come with the dome lids. So
All right.
you can use a normal set. I'm just using the rice cooker because of convenience. And it's easy to film in this corner here than having to film across by the stove and set up with fire and whatnot.
Thank you.
No problem. Any more questions?
Hi, good morning. I want to find out where you're getting the fresh rose petals from.
Okay. Okay, that is actually a really good question. So you don't want to get it from a florist because a florist tend to have chemically treated rose petals. Ideally, you want to grow it. That's or get it from somebody who grows it. So if you know somebody who grows a lot, who has like a lot of rose plants, you can reach out to them and say, "Hi, can I get your roses?" Because I mean, at the end of the day, if you're good with them, remember the roses not really serving any purpose. They will drop out and die. So if it is that you can get it, then you can ask them for it. But I literally, not like literally last night, I saw like 7 roses on this tree next door by my husband's grandma. And this morning when he went to pick it for me, there was only two, a pink one and a white one. So like they drop and they fall really quickly. So you have to get them early because these are well, those would be considered wild roses because they're not cultivated like the floral roses that we are accustomed to from the florist, because those roses are definitely different from the wild rose that I use. But I think you can get like seeds as well and grow it yourself.
Just something to add,
Mm-hmm.
roses are very difficult to grow, right? And I think it has to be grafted. You have to get a like a branch of it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
very difficult to catch. And also people with roses, that's one of the most expensive flowers. So I doubt if they're doing it commercially. Maybe they have a friend or a neighbor, but if somebody's doing it in a garden for commercial, they wouldn't give you the rose.
Definitely. I agree. But this was just a demonstration, to be honest. Um, you can use any fresh flowers. So she actually had a lot of hibiscus. But I was like, you know what? Let me just go with the rose because it's a bit simpler. Everybody know rose water. Um, but hibiscus flowers as well, as soon as you pick them, they start to go. You can't use hibiscus for fresh flowers for anything because they start to disintegrate one time. So this was just a demonstration, but you can literally use any fresh flowers of your choice. You could even use a mixture of it if you know, because it's a long process. It would be considered an expensive process because if it takes a while to do, it means that whether it's electricity or gas, you're still gonna have to pay for fuel to do the process. And so I mean, I was just showing it because I mean a lot of people use it in their everyday life, but I honestly would not go through the trouble of making a hydrosol. I think like a liter of rose water, VS Pharmaceutical sells it for like $20 or something like that. Actually, hold on. It's a liter. So I think we bought from VS Pharmaceuticals their rose water, and it was like the 1 gallon amount. I can't remember how much I paid for it though, but yeah, I do have that actually. And they're smaller bottles that I bought in the grocery. I'm sorry, not the grocery, the pharmacy. I just refill it. or if I have a glass bottle, put it in a glass bottle to use because like I said, I don't really like to use plastic. You can use dried leaves if it is you can't get the fresh leaves. I get my dried rose petals from Almighty. I would have explained this previously that some of my stuff that I don't grow myself or harvest myself, I get from Almighty because I would have to get like a special license to be able to import herbs because it's like a drug, and then if it is fresh they have like different things going on, so not to have to deal with customs and clearing or whatever. I just like Almighty, you can reach out to her and like say what you want. I think she says it's like £5 minimum in each different herb, so you can like reach out to her, see what it is that what she could work out with you guys if that's something that you want. Because I I have plenty of things to do and I really don't really want to go into the hassle of having to apply for the licenses, go through the whole customs, keep calling to find out if goods get cleared and stuff. So that's just my personal preference. I know there are lots of herbal shops in Trinidad. I reached out to most of them already, and they don't wholesale, right? Like if it is that I'm doing something like that I need a lot of, I'm not gonna spend like $45 and a half ounce of herb when I need to buy like a pound of herb, right? That really makes no sense. And when you reach out to them about wholesale, they say we don't need wholesale, but if you want the amount, you need to buy it at the retail price that they have, which I think is personally ridiculous. So, yeah. I'm sure like there are other stores as well. I know Mustafa Aridor in Port of Spain. He has been around for a very long time, and his family makes a lot of herbal products as well. Like his daughters have products in the store, and he has ingredients for most of the herbal preparations. Now, if it is, I know most of his herbal preparation, like those things, is more for topical use. So there are people like Valley Blossom or Soap Maker Paradise. I know people who do soaps and stuff. They could probably tell us about suppliers, but only for topical like purposes. So if it is that you're consuming the preparation, you need to get herbs that are edible, because the ones that the people who sell like preparations for skincare is not processed for human consumption. So normally I would reach out to people and ask them, is your rose petals edible? Can it be used for tea infusions? And they would say no, it's just for like body products. Okay, so the different waxes, Valley Blossom. But Valley Blossom, I know Valley Blossom wholesales from Soap Maker Paradise. But I can probably ask in our community group chat, people who deal with soaps or candles, they can probably tell us where to get the waxes. I know there are some candle people who have bases, but that's the problem. Getting it at a wholesale price, more than likely it would be at a retail price. Okay, any more questions? Okay. I wanted to go into capsules. Now, this is just to go through. I will not be able to demonstrate it, unfortunately, simply because I don't have the tools, but it's still important to learn about, and I wanted to give you all the option of being able to make it yourself. So with herbal capsules, what happens is that you need to make this into a powder, and it allows you to take medicine with you on the go, like you would with your tablets and stuff. and you know exactly what it have in it. So for example, if you're taking a mixture of like moringa and berberine or like bitter melon, Karaili, and you make it into a powder, you put it in a capsule, and say you're diabetic, you want to have this instead of metformin, you can, and you don't get the negative side effects of metformin. Rather, you get the benefits of taking Karaili and moringa. And if you look at the benefits of moringa, it's amazing. So what I did instead was make sure and included like videos, so you will see it in a moment, and you can go on YouTube and watch it. So I put in two methods. The method that is going to be the one that you can do at home with a simple tray, and the commercial method in which you use a machine. So which method you choose to do is if you decide you want to use it for commercial, and or it's more convenient for you to get a machine, whichever, because I mean machines, you're gonna have to bring it in and it's gonna cost a lot of money, right? So you have to decide what it is. Now, my issue with getting herbal capsules from places like so no hate to herbs and health. They have been a pillar in the herbal community for a very long time, but I don't support them as much. I do say they're around people like them. People like don't mind going to them for services, but most of their herbs, when you look at it, it's like powdered, right? And they individually package it. So for me now, if it is that I go there and somebody has herbal capsules, I'm going to be a bit hesitant about if I purchase from them, because I know that they bulk and working with powders, and we already went through the whole powders, and because it's a business, it's in Gulf City Mall, so you know at the end of the day they're still a business. They're going to do what they need to do to cut costs. So for me, I would say, well, I'm not sure if it is that you're going to use your older stock or unused stock or expired stock and put it into the capsules and sell it for convenience. Now, you know, for me, I tend to question things, and if I'm going through the trouble of, you know, trying to fix my life with herbs, I want to make sure that I put quality into my body, because it affects all parts of your being, right? So this is why I want you to learn how to make it if you decide that you want to make it. So your capsule shell can be made from gelatin, or vegetarian options, which is cellulose, and they use this. So people who can't have gelatin or can't source halal gelatin shells, you can use the vegetarian option. So here, this is controlled doses. Is a good factor for your capsules, because you know, okay, every day you can take one, and you know for sure that this is the dosage that you're gonna get every day. So here is basically what you're gonna have to do. So you're gonna get your fine grind powder. You need to sift it to make sure it does not have larger particles in it, and you want to be able to get your shells. This is like in the commercial process, and I put in a video here. This guy, he does it really well, and he shows you how to use the machine setup for it. But right, so before we go into how it is that you can do it for yourself, hold on a second, guys. I just need to check the hydrosol. Okay, I'm back. So these are some things that you know you can adapt your herbal mix to be exactly what you want it to be. You have it as a daily supplement if you need to, and you're not really a fan of drinking tea or eating certain foods. I know people don't really like moringa and how it tastes, or neem. So, they're not really going to eat those things, but they'll faster take a supplement, something that they could swallow really quickly and can enjoy the benefits of it. So yeah, you need to make sure, as with everything, know why you're using the herbs, and make sure that the mix that you make do not contraindicate each other, do not raise toxin levels and cause any allergic reactions. Because remember, this is going to be oral, and then there's no way of really testing to see somebody have an allergic reaction unless they actually manifest an allergic reaction. So there's a filling tray, which basically is this tray with holes in it. And you're basically going to take your shells, it's going to be split into halves, and either individually put it in each or shake it up until it goes in, and then make sure and fill it. Now the tamper is basically like a press that you're going to press down to make sure that it all the powder goes into the capsule. So when it is in these grooves, you're basically pushing it down to make sure that all of them have equal amounts in it. And then you're going to do the same, and then put the two pieces together, and boom, you have your capsule. So this is just like the long, instructional process. And these are some of the herbs that you can use for your capsules. So echinacea is a good one. Now, if it is that you I know most drugstores already have capsules available as well. So most people tend to just go and buy it. So they have the turmeric. This is a good one. Some people don't like the taste of ginger. So by putting it into a capsule and you want the benefits of ginger, it works. Same thing for ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen. So you can take it to calm you down. Well, an adaptogen can either rile you up or calm you down. So it depends on the effect that your body needs in that given time. And I included ashwagandha, but please do a test with this one to see how you react with it before making any great investments into using it for health, simply because everybody will have a different response. Neurodivergent people like ADHD and autistic but more than likely get an opposite reaction from neurotypical people. So again, with all adaptogens, try it before you commit to using it long term. So ginkgo is good as well. Milk thistle, usually this is used for your liver, or if you have like a fatty liver, or if you have issues with your liver and you want to give your liver some support, a milk thistle is really good for it. However, these are herbs that are not really palatable, or most people don't like the taste of it. And well, obviously chamomile to help you sleep. So we went through how to choose your herbs. I talk about the quality. And of course, I had to make sure that I included things that, we have locally. So noni is number 4. It absolutely, this smells absolutely disgusting. And most people, it has a lot of benefits for it, right? But most people will not want to have it. So if it is that you can have it in a form that's easy to take, then you can get it and benefit from it. So bitter melon is Coraili. So people who don't like to eat Coraili, but like I said, it has a lot of good benefits. That's something that you want to do. Okay. So I think I included a video. It's supposed to have 2 videos, one for at home and one for the commercial. But if it's anything, I would just put the video in the Google Classroom, like in the section here that has capsules, I would just put the videos underneath the Word document for it. Okay. Okay.